this isn't just another video about trying a trade. You see, it goes much further than that. It's about opening a door to discover what drives you, what fuels your creativity and pulls you into a course once never thought of. So don't hesitate. Discover your skills and talents through new beginnings and see what lies around the bend.
I got into kind of this just through playing sports in high school, playing rugby at the University of Calgary and the University of British Columbia, so I've always trained a lot, and this is just a way for me to continue keeping my training going and just pass it on to kids to show them that you don't need a lot of time, but you can take an hour or so a day. My name is Mr. Ratan, so I teach physical education and sports performance here at Notre Dame High School. I also coach our senior and junior football teams, our senior girls basketball team, and our boys and girls rugby teams. Over the last 2 or 3 years, we've kind of changed the program just a little bit, where we still offer sports performance during the day, but we've also tailored it a bit where we have some morning options for volleyball, basketball kids during the fall semester, and for football kids in the winter semester. The idea behind this was I saw a lot of my football guys were busy after school playing other sports, which is awesome because we don't want just single sport athletes, we want multi-sport athletes, but they weren't getting time to get into a fitness center to do a proper workout to do their off-season training. So we decided that it would be kind of cool if we could have a class where they could get their off-season lifts in, where they get credits for it and everything like that, much kind of like musical theater is able to give kids credits for being part of the school production and everything like that. Athletics is a big part of the school and those kids put a lot of time in. So we're just trying to look for some ways that we could reward the time the kids are putting in and give them some credit for working towards their specific craft or their specific trade, just like a kid would be that wants to be an engineer doing their sciences and stuff like that.
What we do here is go back.
I got into robotics in university. I took a class just for fun. I thought it'd be interesting to see what that looked like. It was very intense, and we were doing 12 hours a day for 1 week straight to do robotics. And I kind of fell in love with it. Hi, I'm Mr. Unland. I teach computer science and robotics. The idea behind robotics is to provide students with a hands-on activity or class that integrates programming. There's just no way of getting around the fact that we need to do some programming in robotics. So while we build some pretty cool stuff, the magic really happens when we start to program it. But unlike computer science, robotics offers maybe an easier level of entry for students to kind of get their feet wet with some programming because of building robots, and they get to see the physical reaction to the programs that they build through the robot. It opens a lot of doors, and if it's not opening doors, it's definitely a door that students are going to come across when they get to university. They will be taking computer science 101. As soon as they enter, most of those math and physics and chemical-based classes in university. So having that done ahead of time and having got their feet wet in high school is pretty helpful without going in kind of with no knowledge.
The early childhood education course as well as the entrepreneurship for special projects class. So special projects or entrepreneurship basically is whatever you're passionate about, you could potentially get credits for it. So obviously we have a foods class. If you're passionate about foods, you get to take foods class. But there might be something that you're really interested in that we just can't offer every single course here at Notre Dame. So for example, last semester I had someone who they started a financial management club, and they got 25 kids once a week to come meet with a financial advisor and invest in stocks and things that are way over my head but that interest them. So we didn't have that in a specific course, so now they were able to offer that and create that themselves.
Welcome to Early Childhood Education, or as I like to call it, my big happy family. In this class we do all sorts of fun things. Over here we have girls who are learning a little bit more about development in the second trimester. As we come over here, we've got some girls working on changing diapers, an integral part of babies.
Pretty scientific, which is super fun and interesting, but then the other part of it is a little bit more entertaining. So when we're able to, we can walk over to Holy Family. It's a elementary school that's just down the street, and we go there and we meet with their pre-K class and we get to play games. We go there once or twice a month, play games, read books, and they just love us by the end of the first day basically, and yeah, it's so fun.
I wanted to be a mechanic right from when I was 12 years old. I didn't want to be anything else. I'm Mr. Smith. I run the mechanics program here at Notre Dame High School, which is also home of Cougar Motorsports, which is our race program for our automotives department. Grade 10 stuff, we usually get hands-on with some taking some stuff apart, getting the feel for how stuff comes apart, goes together, get some fundamental principles of how automobiles work. And then in grade 11 and 12, we come down to the workshop down here and we start taking apart customer vehicles. Your teacher vehicles will come in here and we'll get some brake work and oil changes, all kinds of stuff on them. I think the most unique thing to Notre Dame that we've got going on right now is the race program. Students built for me to go race at autocross at the Western grounds here in town. So I think that's a lot of fun. The kids have a lot of opportunity to do different things on the vehicles, to do performance upgrades that we wouldn't normally get to do on a customer's type vehicle, so we get to do more than we would otherwise, I think. It would set you up for a career in any type of trade really that you want to look at. Specifically automotives, of course, but then there's also RV, heavy-duty technician, all kinds of different ones that you could go into.
And right now we're currently located in my design studies lab. It's a computer lab and a build space where we're able to design and construct models and prototypes and things like that. In design studies, the reason why it's called that is because we really focus on the process you go through when designing literally anything. So we talk about things like identifying a problem or a need, we go through research and brainstorming, we work our way through some pretty technical software, both in architecture and engineering, three-dimensional design, that sort of thing. We just finished our first tiny home that we converted a 40-foot sea can. So one of those big storage containers, that's all metal. We turned that thing into a tiny house. We raffled it off to raise money, and then there was an actual winner of the tiny home. So the work we do in the design studies lab is exactly as it sounds. So in Notre Dame, I have another lab just further down the hall here, and it is the photography lab, frequently used for, as it sounds, photography and video. We also can do video editing. but also graphic design and animation. So we've had students who have already been considered for their internships and for those required practicums that they have to do when they actually take a 4-year degree program in, say, structural engineering, because of the contacts that we've introduced them to here while they were at Notre Dame.
Originally, I actually wanted to be the next Ron McLean, but I didn't figure that was in the cards. So I knew I enjoyed working in the shop, and so I figured that's what I would do after high school. I'm Mr. Mappin. I teach construction here. So it's definitely something that can benefit anybody. There's so many different ways to go within construction, so many different trades that you can learn and explore about. So especially in grade 10, we learn about all the different trades essentially that go into your plumbing, your HVAC, your electrical, framers, cribbers, so all the structural components. Building homes and that's been going on for a few years, even before my time. When I got here, we started building the tiny home. That's kind of a very unique opportunity because it gives you a real world experience of working with others and how all plans have to come together. Where you have to have your ducks in a row.
Honestly, the job came up and I thought that would be a really cool experience, and so I applied and I got the job, and almost 15 years later here I am still teaching foods and loving it. Hi, I'm Mr. LaRouge and I teach food studies here at Notre Dame. Students compete in baking and cooking, but we also have events like our food truck wars. I mean, students basically build a business, and we sell food to the students in the school. One year we made over $5,000 in one lunch hour in the food that they created, and the students did everything. They planned the menu, they created their own dishes, they tested everything. They really were running it like a business. I love it when students come back and say, I went home and made this for my family, and they were really impressed and they loved it. I think that's even that chance to show off for your friends or a potential date sometimes too, everyone wants to date someone who knows how to cook, so I think it's always something I want to strive for.
So I got into cosmetology because I love doing hair, and I wanted to pass it on to my students. I think it's a great skill to have, whether it's personal or professional. It's a skill that will never leave you. we get to work on real people. We get to work on each other. Sometimes it's on mannequins, so we can cut each other's hair, we can color each other's hair. We also do aesthetics, so then we can do manicures, we can tint lashes, we can do eyelash extensions. There's a realm of things. Hoping once COVID is done that we can reopen up our salon and we can have some seniors come over. We open it up to the public. We open it up even to the schools so that you can bring your friends and family in and we can do some haircuts and colors on them. Well, for the hair end of it, you can actually take your hours and transfer them onto a private college so that you don't have to go as long and get your journeyman's ticket that way. If you're doing the aesthetic side of it, again, you can apply those hours towards school and end up out of school faster and in the trade.
I'm Mrs. Johnson and I teach art, musical theater, technical theater, drama, and dance at Notre Dame. I've always been into the arts. I was an arts student. I acted, I danced, I did visual art, all of that, and I just wanted to help people cultivate those parts about themselves. You can come in doing art your entire life or not doing it ever, and you will have the opportunity to grow. Okay, so you'll learn what type of art you like, because we're going to be doing 3D art, you'll have painting, you'll have drawing, you'll have sculptures, all of that kind of stuff. So you don't have to show up there and know everything about art, because that's what I'm here for. I just think that regardless if you think that you'd be good at visual arts or performing arts or not, or if there's even just like the smallest inkling in your brain that says, you know what, I want to try that, I think you should try it. I think you could surprise yourselves. I don't think that you should hinder that part. I think it would be a really great addition to your high school experience.
So, grade 9s, grasp every opportunity, explore each possibility, and embrace your future. Welcome to the family of Notre Dame.